How's everyone doing tonight? So, day 21. Day 21 of the Ugears Dream Cabriolet VM-05. It shouldn't take 21 days. This has been such a failure. As you can see, I just popped the trunk there unintentionally. There's a piece missing there. These rubber bands have taken me about a half hour each. It hasn't gone well. But, we're going to get it done. But before we do that, let's read 5 more sandwiches from this Brooklyn Italian Heroes. They opened one on Annandale Road, right on my block. So I'm kind of fascinated with this. In fact, I made the kids heroes today, and they asked me if I took them from this sheet, and I didn't. But I made them heroes with mozzarella cheese, which is seems to be a trademark of this restaurant, putting mozzarella cheese on the heroes. So I don't know, it's definitely influenced me. Anyway, let's read 5 more tonight. With Phil Rizzuto. I love Phil Rizzuto. He used to call the Yankee games, so I was listening to him every night growing up. Excuse me. Phil Rizzuto, roast beef, fresh mozzarella, lettuce, mayo, salt, black pepper. Vinny Testaverde. Wow, Vinny Testaverde got in here. I mean, what do you remember him most as? As the Jets, maybe? I mean, for me, it's as the Jets, His son played for SUNY Albany for a little while. Anyway, Vinny Testaverde, olive loaf, soprassetto, white American cheese, lettuce, and mayo. Yeah, that's not really a compliment. Joe Torre, let's see what we got here. Grilled Italian sausage, olive oil, vinegar, lettuce, salt, black pepper, and a pinch of oregano. That's pretty good. So we got the Italian sausage. Mike Piazza. Roast pork. Yeah, he's a bit of a ham. Fresh mozzarella, olive oil, and black pepper. He's in the Hall of Fame, right? Does he have the most homers for a catcher or something like that? Or Robert De Niro. He's a punk. He's a loser. But anyway, he's a good actor. Robert De Niro, pepper, ham, Swiss cheese, tomato, mayo. I should clarify my feelings about Robert De Niro. I didn't have a problem with him until he had a problem with me. When he started insulting, Republicans and Christians and people who believe in life and people who are anti-crime and people who want more liberty and people who want their rights, have the Constitution respected. When he started insulting all those people, saying he wanted to punch them in the face, saying he had no respect for them, calling them losers, then, we all lost respect for Robert De Niro. Maybe he's just an actor and he just says whatever he's paid to say, but, no. You attack people, that's it. You're done. Because, I don't attack anyone, I have disagreements with people politically, but I don't say that I want to punch them in the face, and I don't say all these horrible things about them. So, when he escalates his political opinion to the point of, that he treats Republicans as subhuman, says he wants to beat them up, well, then he's a punk. No more respect for Robert De Niro. He's been in a lot of good movies, though. I mean, Joker was the most recent one I saw him in. He was good in Joker. I mean, obviously, Goodfellas was a classic. I feel bad. I'm now doing ads for him when, and no one's going to remember that he got this talk by insulting people. And maybe that's exactly his point. I'll insult people and they'll remember me. And I'm walking right into the trap. I probably should be the bigger person and just ignore. I probably should have just said, I can't make out the name there. When I got to De Niro's sandwich, I should have said, I can't make out the name, and just read the sandwich. That's going to be my future thing. I'm no longer going to reward people with publicity for insulting me. That's stupid of me. I'm just going to ignore them. So anyway, getting to the puzzle. So we built, let me just show you. We built this thing. That's the last thing we did last night. And then if you go to the instructions, at the end of the page where that's built, there's a check mark saying good job, you built that. And then there's a symbol, which is two triangles pointing at each other, and it says mirror. And then there's a little caution sign that there's a little stick at the end of one of them. So I think what it means is that I have to build this again, like the mirror image of it. So I have to scroll back in the instructions to where this started and do it again. You know, maybe that's all we're going to do tonight is build the mirror image of this. I don't even remember when it started. I don't know how to like do a mirror image, really. I guess there's going to be pieces that are, well, maybe that's why, if you remember, they're sort of they're all covered up now. But if you remember, these pieces would have numbers on them. I can show you on this board. So the pieces, they have like numbers on them, like it'll be number 242, but then it'll also have the number 67 on it or something like that. So it's like this piece is, 241. Let me just see here. Oh, wait, let me use my paper clip. All right, so 241 is here, but then it'll have on it the number 66. So the first time we went through the instructions, they were telling us about the number, the real number, but then we also saw the number on it, like this one's 242, but it's 67. So I think we probably can follow along based on those numbers. I'm assuming that that's going to work. While I have this in close-up, I want to show this thing. I mean, we've been using this for a couple of days. It's one of those things I got free for review. It kind of looks like the tool that they gave us. It even has the millimeter ruler. I don't know, that might be the inch side. I don't know, maybe it doesn't have millimeter. Maybe there's centimeters on one side and inches on another. All right, so I guess it doesn't have millimeter, but it's got a couple of rulers, which is similar to this thing. And it punches pieces out, which is similar to this. Basically, I found this to be a useful tool for building the models. Anyway, moving on. So we're going to do this puzzle now. We're going to do this piece, the mirror image of it. So we're probably going to use those numbers to find the pieces. I'm not really sure. I know there's pieces like this that we punched out by accident, which I believe is a match for a piece that goes there. You can see it looks just like that piece. So we'll keep an eye on that. All right, so the first thing we need is 2 small pieces of toothpick. We have to cut them to the 2Z size, and pieces 186 and 187. Once again, I forgot to have these on the table, but they were within arm reach. Of the 21 days of this puzzle, I've probably forgot like 19 of the days. Anyway, probably because they're still within reach that I don't really care that much if I forget. Anyway, we've got a lot of little pieces of toothpick at this point. We probably should be able to get 2 2Zs out of this. All right. I'm not going to scroll backwards in the page counter, though really we are scrolled like 2 pages backwards at this point, but I will increment the piece counter by 2 for these 2 pieces that we're adding now. Basically just going to cut the tip off this second piece. There we go. Did we leave that second one a bit long? We either cut the first one short or left the second one long. I'm going to try to get a little bit more off that second one. I think I got it. Maybe I took too much, but that won't really be a problem. All right, so 186 and 187. What board are they on? All right, this is board... This must be board 6, because there's no board 9. I see 197. but I don't see 186 and 187. All right, I see a 187 here. I see a 186 here, but they're both punched out already. Those pieces have 51 and 52 on them. So let's see if there are other pieces that say 51 and 52 but have different numbers, because that could totally be the case now that we're working on the mirror image version. All right, 56. I don't see any pieces that say 51 and 52, but they're supposed to exist. All right. Not sure what to do here. So definitely there should be pieces with toothpick holes. There it is. 225 and 226. I found them by the toothpick holes. So those are pieces 226 and 225. They say on them 51 and 52. It's really small, but trust me, they say it. All right, let's punch them out with the metal. I haven't broke a piece yet using the metal. I was worried that the metal was going to be like too strong and it was going to break the pieces, but seems like it hasn't happened yet. And I'm keep using it, which is a little bit risky, but anyway. That's two more pieces. We're up to 476. Now, mirror image. This is going to be tricky because I don't know for the mirror image which one goes first. Like, does the 51 go in first or does the 52 go in first? This is tricky. I think the 51 goes in back. Even if it's a mirror image. This mirror image thing could screw me up. Could screw us up. And we can end up making mistakes. But anyway, we'll try. And if we make a mistake, we'll backtrack and fix it. That's part of assembling a puzzle. You know, you don't always know exactly what you're doing. But we're going to try our best. You can wait and see if I'm right and decide whether or not to do the same. I guess we'll see soon enough. We'll know in a few pieces. First, I got to get these flush. And then just getting back to that Robert De Niro thing, a lot of times people are like, oh, I didn't say I was going to punch you in the face. I said I was going to punch politician X. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. If you said you're going to, politician X did this and that, and you're going to challenge him in court, that's fine. I understand that. But if you say you're going to punch politician X in the face and 71 million people or 74 million people or whatever it is voted for that politician, you are being aggressive towards those 70 whatever million people. Is this the way I said I was going to do this? Yeah, I think so, because the 52 is pointing out. So I think the 51 and the 52, like, they're supposed to be, wow, that box is right there. Like, the 52 is pointing out, and you can't see the 51 because it's going the same way. And I think that matches, what they show in the instructions, but to a mirror image. All right. next piece is 188 or some mirror image of 188. This 227, is this it? Like, how do I know? Like, the instructions say 188. How do I know whether or not to do 227? Let's just see. All right. Yeah, it does go on after this. So we're totally on our own for this mirror image crap. All right. So we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants here, but we'll get it done. No worries. Wow, this whole thing wants to pop out. Not just the piece that I need. All right. Okay. Got it. Yeah, this is going to be the mirror image. It's not only finding the pieces, but it's like figuring out which is the mirror image. I can't just look at the instruction book because, again, it's a mirror image. So, like, if I look at the instruction book, this is correct. But it's a mirror image, so maybe, like, I'm supposed to be doing this, maybe? Definitely not supposed to be doing this. I don't know. I just don't know. Let's see. Let's say it's a mirror image. Then it's going to fit like this. If I actually hold up this one, then yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's messed up. If this is a mirror image, then this first thing that I did was wrong. Because this one without the tab is supposed to go towards the end of the piece. Right? So if I put it on, yeah, it's never going to point there. I have to swap these pieces. So the 51 goes in front and the 52 goes in back when it's the mirror image. And then do we count the pieces down rather than up? Wait, now it looks good, but that's incorrect. Because that's not a mirror image. Because then I'd be building on the outside. Oh, I am building on the outside. Okay, that's correct. That's correct. We didn't mess up. The first piece was correct. We are building on the outside, ink side out. Yeah. Ink side out. No ink here. No ink here. Ink side out. So that means the piece goes on the outside, and that means that we didn't mess up. Wow, that took way too long to confirm. All right, 477, because we added this piece. I should have read the number for that piece, since the instructions don't tell you the number. It was piece 227. Yeah. Instructions don't tell you the number, so I better read them out. This piece didn't go all the way in. I'm trying to get it in. You can probably see here. It's a little bit off. You see that gap there? We got to get it in somehow. Come on. What do you think? Does that look better? It's a little better. I don't think it's perfect. All right, there we go. We got it now. All right. So now we have to fill in all of these like pieces along here. So before we go crazy with that, let me get one of these cards so we got something to talk about. If there are hundreds of billions of planets in our universe that could support life, how come we haven't met any aliens? Well, that's a big assumption. How come we haven't met any aliens? How do they know they haven't met any aliens? All right, I'll get back to that question in a minute. Let me just see what pieces I'm supposed to be pulling out here. All right, so the first time we did this, the pieces were 189 through 199. But the numbers on them were 53 through 63. So what we really need are pieces 53 through 63. Let's see if we can find those pieces. There, so they're here. So 53 is 230. There's 59, 58. I'm trying to find 63 so I know where it ends. 56. Anyway, they seem to go in order. So we're going from 53 to 63, so that's 11 pieces. 53 is on 228. So, wait, is that 11? Yeah, that's 11 pieces. 228, it's probably going to go to 238. Anyway, it's 11 pieces. So I'm going to increment the counter to 488, from 477 to 488. And now I'm going to pop out pieces labeled 53 through 63, which should be 228 through 238, while I talk about aliens. So they're saying, why haven't we met aliens yet? And I'm saying, well, that's quite an assumption to say that you haven't met aliens. What is an alien? Is anything not evolved on planet Earth an alien? Is anything that wasn't on Earth when the first human society was formed an alien? How are we defining an alien? That's like right from the jump. You know, they lost me. How do you know the humans aren't the aliens? Like, how do you know when did they get to Earth? How do you know that the aliens, even like recently showed up aliens, don't look like humans? How do you know an alien is extraterrestrial, right? How do you know there isn't land close by it's like hopping with aliens? Right? Anything outside our map, you know, if they find something beyond Antarctica, that's an alien, correct? Yeah. Okay, but let's take them at their word. Let's take them. They say that there's no aliens, or whatever. They say we didn't meet any aliens. Let's just take them at their word. So we didn't meet any aliens. So now you want to know why. Why didn't you meet any aliens? I just can't get past the fact that I don't know why they're assuming we didn't meet any aliens. But okay, I have to just put that aside and say, why didn't we meet aliens? Well, if you're going by their system, then the aliens have to travel very far. You know, like if, for example, if we did it, you know, barring some warp speed type of technology, you would start the trip with one group of people and the trip would end with their like great grandchildren, because you're not going to get there in one lifetime. So then if that happens, how many lifetimes is it? And did the people who finally get to the other planet even like recognize that they came from a beginning planet, or that they are meeting people on a new planet? It's almost like one of those religions where they teach you like we're an alien, we're on a journey. Like, isn't there some religion? It might even be, you know, I don't want to get Scientology wrong because I heard they're quite litigious, but like, didn't Scientology teach something like you're a soul on a journey passing through Earth or something like that? So there could be people who, you know, and in this analogy that they're asking us, this would actually be the truth for these people. They left one planet and they're traveling in a spaceship until they get to another planet, and it's a multi-generational trip. So the only way that information passes is if the parents teach it to the children like a religion. And now imagine that those aliens put their consciousness in, I don't know. I mean, I guess we would think computers, but they might think human organisms or something like that. I mean, that could really be a trip, you know? And then what happens if the people on Earth, it takes them so many generations and they stop recognizing it, you know? And it's like their soul was passed through 10 human lifetimes or whatever, but now the humans stopped recognizing that they were on a soul journey to somewhere else. I know I'm going a little crazy with this question, but you know, that's where this question is taking me. So anyway, about these pieces here, I got they have 2 rows, 53 through 57. I have 53 through 57. Second row is 58 through 63. So I got up to 59, and now I don't see the other pieces. So I don't know if I have to look at another board or something. All right, so like 233 was the last piece I saw. So let me just check some of these other boards and see if they have 230. They do. All right, there's 64. There's 63. All right, so 63 goes here. And now we need 60, 61, and 62. So 63 really goes there. All right, so 60, 61, and 62. So that's 63 was piece 238, which is exactly what we predicted it would be. So that's good. Our numbers were good. So 228 through 238 are these pieces. All right, so we still didn't find them all, though. We need 60, 61, and 62. So where the hell are they? Here's 61. Which kind of goes in the middle. We still need 60 and 62. It's a good sign, though. All right, here's 60. I think it's a very good bet that 62 will be on this board, considering all the other pieces we were looking for were on this board. All right, so 62 should be piece 237. There's 238. There's 239. 237 can't be far away. Tell me if you see it before I do. Chat. Tell me where piece 237 is. I see 273. There's 237. Looks like a backward F. All right. There's the pieces. All right. Now we have to mirror image them into this. But I don't think we need to remember that it's a mirror image because we just need to go in number order. So like, you know, 53 goes here, 54 goes next to it. I mean, there you go. I don't have to really think too much. So 53 goes down here, at the bottom here. You like the Route 66 backdrop that I have? So I have Route 66 in front, and then I also have Route 66. When I'm on this camera, you can see it. It's in the front. And then I have a different Route 66. See, it's like the one behind me has mountains, and the one in front of me has plains. Well, I don't know if they're called plains when they're just desert. But anyway, I felt that it made it seem like, I don't know, like we were driving on Route 66. Does my chair, though, look like it's a car seat? Not really. Certainly not with my desk behind it. Anyway, that's what I was thinking. I don't know if it makes sense or not. You know, it was fun for me to set it up that way. But anyway, this piece is not going in. I think we dealt with this piece on the other side, and we sanded it and we waxed it. And we said we were going to do that for all long pieces. But that was probably a couple days ago, and I kind of forgot about it. Anyway. By the way, I'm not usually one of those people. I'm not usually one of those people who like brings their personal life into their show and like asks for help. But I'm gonna ask for prayer because like my parents have 11 different grandchildren. That includes my 3 kids. And 3 of them in 3 different cities all went to hospitals today. And it's like, just pray for all 3 kids and pray for my parents. It's just like, all 3 of them were unplanned, unscheduled. It's like, it really, this sort of thing shouldn't be happening, especially not to kids. I don't know. My conspiratorial mind could come up with a lot of ideas, but I just would say, let's just start with something simple. Staring at phones all day, not getting the sunlight and exercise that kids used to get. It's like a lot of things you can blame it on. But let's just pray, for all of the kids all over the world. Honestly, right now, like you used to see like National Geographic or stuff like that, and you would see these people like living in the mountains or the desert or the jungle, and you would think like, look at these people, they got like, that's terrible. But now, if you look at the West or like modern society, and you see people like living in these like air-conditioned houses all day with the Wi-Fi and the streaming and the video games and the screens, like we're the chumps now. Like when, in the 70s, when we had like refrigerators, gas cars, fans, we felt like we were on top of the world. Nowadays, I don't know what part of the world we're on. We're not on the top anymore. So this piece, 63. Okay, yeah, that doesn't go there. That makes sense. All right, I had the wrong piece for a second. All right, so the next piece I grabbed from this side, 58. Anyway, so nowadays the way we live, where people sit and stare at screens all day, rather than going out and like chopping firewood and exercising. So yeah, in the 70s, we had like a phone, but it was like corded to a wall. We had cars, but they didn't work half the time. They took 15 minutes to warm up. The gas was expensive. You would walk when you could, and only took the car when you had to. There were planes, but they were expensive. There was internet, but it was only at universities. People went to the library. I just feel like the 70s had like a good amount of technology. I'm not sure that how people are growing up today is the right amount. I think we're a bit overdoing it today. We're a bit drunk on technology. That's not the only thing. There's a lot of things going on. But there's also, in addition to the technology that people voluntarily get involved in, there's like the air rights and all these signals. Like, I'm not a 5G conspiracist, but like, how many signals does it take to like A, heat up the earth, and B, just like mess with people's biorhythms. Like, everyone's like worried about cow farts, but they're not worried about all these like signals constantly like irradiating people all day long. Maybe the teenagers are more susceptible than the adults because we got literally thicker skin and more, fat insulation. Maybe kids are like more vulnerable. Teens are probably the skinniest, members of the population. They don't have much body fat. The baby fat's gone. The adult fat's not there yet. Anyway, we kind of made some progress here with this thing. We're up to the next instruction. But before we go to the next instruction, let's read the answer here about why we didn't meet aliens. By the way, this is from the Word Teasers, Random Knowledge, Talk, Laugh, Learn. I don't know. Something I got for review. Our universe is 13.7 billion years old. How did they figure that out? We appeared 200,000 years ago. Well, we're talking about the universe, or are we talking about Earth? Do you know that you appeared on Earth? Is the Earth the first planet to feature humans? They didn't show up anywhere else. I mean, even if they evolved separately, it's not like a logical evolution. Anyway, let's take them at their word. We appeared 200,000 years ago. It would take 19,000 years just to get to the nearest star. Using current technology, the vastness of space and immensity of time make it unlikely you will ever encounter beings from another world. I think that their answer jived pretty good with my answer of having to pass on. You know what? If a religion doesn't exist yet about that, maybe I'll start it. But I have to be careful because I'm already a Christian and I don't want to do anything that counters that. But I don't think Jesus said, you must start a religion in my name. I think Jesus was like, do what I do, love God, ahead of everything else, love your neighbor as yourself. I don't think he said you can't speculate about some other races doing some other thing. Not races, planets, species, whatever you want to call it. All right. So now we need 4 more pieces. They're labeled 64 through 67. The first time around, they were 200 through 203. So we'll add 4 numbers for that. So that brings us to 492. Let's see what numbers they are this time. I saw 64. I remember seeing that. There's 67, 66. Now we're 65. So anyway, 67 and 66 are 241 and 242. So it's probably 239 through 242. So let's find those pieces. All right, let's just pop out the 2 that we found, and maybe we'll find the other 2. All right, so 67. Let's get that one out. 66. Get that one out. Now, we need 64 and 65, which are right here. 64 and 65. These are 239 and 240. So 239 through 242 are the 4 pieces that we're looking for in this section. Boy, this whole piece wants to break because I don't know what's going on with these curvy-wurvy pieces here. Are they going to be the side panels of the car? Is that the length of the car right there? I see a wheel well, something that looks like a side panel, and another wheel well. I think those are the 2 side panels of the car. All right, that's cool. I don't know if that was fully on screen. I should have looked at the monitor. So a wheel well, second wheel well. This is clearly the back wheel, clearly the front wheel. Anyway, I think that's the side panel of the car. We'll see soon enough. All right, no long posts. So I'll do a little cleaning with the sandpaper, but I don't think we have to do as much as before. All right, yeah, just a little. Get any splinters. All right. So what are we going from? 64 to 67. So 64. 65. 66. How does this go? Like, I'm confused on 66. Like this, maybe? Like this? I don't know. I don't know how 66 goes. And 67. Anyway, there's the numbers. Wow, what's going on there? You can't read them. That's blurrier. All right. I can't make those readable. Maybe I got to tilt them. There we go. 66. 67. Oh, now they're readable. So I got to block the light, and then you can read them. All right, 66 through 67. What's the angle? There we go. They just need a shadow. 64, 65, 66, and 67. All right. So I guess it was a bit overlit, at least for the close-up camera. All right. Now, what are we supposed to do with these pieces? All right. Mirror image. So 64 goes here. All right. We need the next question. All right. If you have a pizza with a radius of Z and a thickness of A, what is the volume? What are they just like testing if I remember the formula for volume? I don't. So let's try to figure it out. All right, so it has a radius of Z. So is radius half the diameter? What is a radius? I think it's like from the center point to the circumference. So like pi r squared would be the area, and then you would multiply it by the volume, by the thickness to get the volume. Does that sound about right? All right, so pi r squared. So radius, all right, so Z squared times 3.14 would be the area, and then to get the volume, you multiply it by the thickness, which they're claiming is A. It's kind of difficult to do this because they're saying A and Z. It's like we're not really going to get a precise answer here. They're really just asking for a formula. This is a stupid question. They're just asking me if I remember how to do volume. And I don't. But I think you can figure it out even if you don't remember. All right, so how does this piece go in? Like this? All right, it's when I do this 60, after I do 67, I'll look into that. But I'm going to go with pi z squared. Put the pi z squared in parentheses and then multiply it by a. Pi z squared multiplied by a. That's my answer. All right, let's see what it says. Just give me a second to make sure these pieces are straight. All right, time to see the answer. Let's see what we got here. Pizza. Oh, that's brilliant. It spells pizza. Yeah, Nick, check this out. Come in this room. Pizza, pi, z squared times a. The perfect math. Nick, this is an awesome question. Look at my monitor. Yeah. If you have a pizza with a radius of z and a thickness of a, what is the volume? You got a pizza with a radius of z? What's the formula for the area of a circle? Pi. Pi r squared, right? So pi z squared. And then if you want to get the volume, you got to also multiply by the thickness. So that's A. So put that into formula using their variables Z and A. The volume of a pizza is pi times Z times Z times A. Pizza. All right. That's crazy. Yeah. I like that one. All right. So that question redeemed itself. I thought it was stupid because it was like, what are they just testing if I remember like freshman level high school math? Or even, is that like 7th grade? I don't even know what year they teach you that in. But anyway, it's something that I've long since forgotten. I don't do it in my job. I'm a computer programmer, database administrator, computer forensic consultant, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, we don't do pi r squared in my job. It could come up potentially, but we don't normally do it. So anyway, pizza. That was worth it. So I thought the card was stupid. I'm stupid because I didn't figure out. I was saying pi z squared times a. It was right there. Pi z squared times a. It's pizza. How did I not get that? I should have got that. I mean, I got the math part, but I didn't get the joke part, which is really disappointing. I should have prioritized the joke over the accuracy. That should be a lesson in life. Always look for the humor. Like don't be too serious in life. It's not meant to be. Believe me, God would have set things up a lot differently if He meant life to be serious. It's supposed to be a barrel of monkeys. It's not supposed to be serious. I think I just lost my page, which is going to be tricky because the page number is not accurate because we're doing that reversey thing. All right, so I think we just finished. All right, so 50. So we got to add 204, which I believe is this piece that we popped out by accident. So using this as a reference and knowing that we have to do the mirror image, 204 should connect onto these two pins. Yeah, connect onto those two pins. That's all you need to know. Well, the other thing you need to know is the shape of it. So let me put these two together, mirror image style, because if I mirror image these, let me give you an angle to see what I'm seeing. All right, so I get this mirror image with this, right? So we got those two in mirror image. So now if I flip these down, then these two also have to be in mirror image, which means it's going to connect kind of like that. All right, so let's make that connection. All right, almost. It's a little rough. We'll get it. That was a good question, that pizza. I'm still on that. But we must go on to the next question. All right, let's get this thing on, and then we'll go on to, and then we'll, when we find out what pieces we have to collect next to fill this all in, then we'll grab the next question. So we got something to think about. There we go. All right. Okay. All right. What do we got to do here? Oh no, I said I'd find the pieces first. All right. So the pieces are. What's going on here? So we just did this, and then they want us to do this, which means that we were supposed to already build that, which means we need to go further backwards than we already were. When did that happen? Or are we supposed to, we're supposed to do this. Okay. 205 through 220. All right. 205 through 220, which is going to be labeled 68 through 83. So it's probably not going to be pieces 205 to 220. It's going to be some other pieces, but they're going to be labeled 68 through 83. So let's look for a piece called 68. Is it going to come from here? All right. I'm just looking for the pieces. These have like 5, 6. They're much lower. 15. Okay, there's 68. But we need a lot more than one piece. But there should be consecutive numbers because it was 205 to 220 the first time. So this, if the first piece is 243, then it should be 243 to 258, which is 16 pieces. All right, let me add the 16 pieces in. All right, so that's going to bring us from 492 to what, 508? Maybe that's right. Maybe it's not. Sounds about right. So 508. All right, so 243 to 258. Those are going to be 68 through 83. I literally only see the 68 on this board. I don't know what board has the other pieces. But let's grab it. 242 is there. 243 is here. 240. Where's 244? It's not on this board. Yeah, or if it is, I don't see it. 264, 282, 265, 284. I do not see 244 on this board. All right. Let's check this board. that. I don't see it here either. 244. Not here. Okay. 244 through 258. That's what we're looking for. Don't see it here either. I got a good feeling about this one. But I appear to be mistaken. I don't see 244 here. I don't see 69 here. These are like mid-level numbers. Jackpot. Sorry, I said it wrong. Jackpot. I don't know. I believe that it's from a line from Billy Madison, but I can't seem to pronounce it right now. Jackpot. All right. I've lost the ability to pronounce that. I can hear it in my head. Anyway, 69. 69 through 83. Okay, so we found the pieces, so we need to read the next question. Wow, a lot of cosmology in this deck. Are there more stars in the universe or in all... What? They asked us this already. Did I grab from the back of the deck? What is the potentially most... Huh. I think they asked this question before. Are there more stars in the universe or in all the grains of sand in Earth? Scientists estimate there are many stars in the universe for each grain of sand on Earth. The beach of the desert, the Earth. Think of that the next time you build a sand castle through the desert. Yeah, now I think they phrased it different last time. But anyway, it was just like too similar to a previous question. What was potentially the most dangerous decision the U.S. military ever made? All right, most dangerous decision the military made. Well, I mean, there's a lot of them. Nowadays, people are saying AI, but that's so stupid. That's not, AI is not dangerous unless you're just looking for something to blame. Like, oh, it wasn't us, it was the AI. No, we're good. So currently the answer is AI. You know, James Cameron popularized that. You know, another guy who hates Christians, so probably means that, I don't know, probably on the take from, you know, it's weird. Wasn't America founded by Christians? Why are they now, I mean, they call it the deep state. The deep state controls the media. The media hates Christians. Does that mean the deep state hates Christians? Why? Why? We're such nice people. Anyway, James Cameron's another Christian hater. And he made that, you know, Skynet movie and the Terminator 2. So, obviously been part of selling the... I mean, it could be just a movie, you know. I'm fine with movies just being movies. But if you seriously think that AI is going to do anything on this earth that wasn't pre-planned by a human, then you don't understand anything about how computers work. No offense. You've been told a lot of lies your whole life, and it's not your fault if you believe them. Yeah, there's a lot of liars out there. And one thing they like to lie about is the quality of AI. Because presumably they're going to blame bad decisions on AI. You know, decisions they don't want credit for are going to be AI decisions. Anyway, that's probably not the answer they're looking for. So what was potentially the most dangerous decision the U.S. military ever made? I thought of another one, but it's just a joke. I'm not going to go with that one. Dangerous decision the U.S. military made. Well, they did bomb in World War II. They started off nukes, and nowadays people don't use nukes because of mutually assured destruction, which is like if you shoot off your nuke, someone else will shoot off theirs. And supposedly that wasn't an issue during World War II because the U.S. was the only one with the nukes. But A, how do you know someone else didn't have nukes that they didn't tell you about? And B, couldn't they just use a big conventional weapon and that could be just as damaging? hint, hint. Or could they get back at you once they got the bomb? Like, why are you assuming that you can drop a bomb on another country and get away with it? The U.S. did, and arguably it was, the right thing to do because it, ended World War II. I think the Nazis, yes, there were Nazis in World War II. I think the Russians making the march to Berlin and taking out Hitler, that arguably was quite consequential in World War II. The Italian citizens strung up Mussolini. There was a lot of island hopping in Japan. I don't know if the writing was on the wall before we dropped the bomb. I also think that, I don't know. Let me not go down that road. But basically, they recovered pretty well. The places that were hit with the bomb. It's not like they were hit with the bomb and that was the end. They built back. I think nowadays they use the phrase "built back better," although some people don't like it because it's 3 B's, and sometimes they spell it with 3 lowercase b's, and it starts to look like 3 6's, and people are like, "Come on, where you come up with this idea?" But you do want to build back, and if you're going to build back, you might as well build back better. So I do think that it's a phrase that could just happen accidentally. I'm not going to assume any malice into a phrase. And that's exactly what happened to Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They built back better, Did they get war reparations? Like, did we pay them because we dropped the bomb on them? I never understood how those war things work. It's like you win the war and you have to pay the country who lost or something like that. Like, what if they started it? I don't know. I guess it's nice. I mean, war is hell, but I guess it's nice that you offer to, clean up the mess afterward or something. I shouldn't laugh. I mean, it's a horrible thing, but all right. Let's see what their answer is before I start putting this together. I don't think I came up with a good answer, but let's see what their answer is. All right, so there's all the pieces. 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83. Why does the 83 say 84 on it? Let's put that aside for a minute and find an 83 that says 83 on it. Is this going to be one of those pieces that I popped out by accident? No, it's not. 83 is right there. In fact, I think this is that piece they were cautioning us about that needs to have the notch on it. All right, so there's 83. Sorry if I was off camera. There's 83. So this 84, I don't know when it's going to be used, but not right now. All right, let's see what the answer is. All right. What? Oh, okay. It was about nukes. So, what was potentially the most dangerous decision the U.S. military ever made? Making the password to the launch nuclear missiles all zeros. This password existed for 17 years of the Cold War from 1962 to 1979. The thinking was that the U.S. could quickly strike if needed. Fortunately, no one figured it out before they changed it. What? The nuclear password was a bunch of zeros? Yeah, that's a little scary. Is that all you need, the password? Don't you need like 2 keys turned at the same time from 10 feet apart or something? All right, how much salt is there in our oceans? Well, there's a lot. How much salt? I have to guess exactly how much salt is there? All right, let me start the first. Okay, 67. So 68 should go right next to it. I think I can do this. All right, how much salt is in the ocean? I think how much salt is in a drop of water, and then how many drops are in an ocean. I don't think I can figure out how many drops are in the ocean. And plus, there's not one ocean. There's like several of them. How much salt is in a drop? There's a lot. I mean, if you've ever like tasted ocean water, it is really salty, like incredibly so. That was 68. Here's 69. Am I doing this the right way? Is this the pattern? I think so. So how much salt? I mean, I'm not really good with measurements. Like, I don't know, a gram. There's a gram in a drop. All right. I'm not sure what that tells us. Now it's like, okay, now how many drops are there in all of the world's oceans? Let me express how much salt there is. What's the name of those mountains in the east coast of the Appalachian Mountains? Let me say there's enough salt to reconstruct the Appalachian Mountains, plus the Andes Mountains, plus, I don't know. I mean, all the world's deserts. There's enough salt to replace all the world's mountains and beaches with salt. I don't know. I don't know how to express it. I don't know in units how much salt there is in the ocean. Maybe express it as a percentage of weight of the Earth. That actually would be kind of a low number. Again, sort of depending, proportionally. You know what? Let's just see their answer. I don't really have the answer. All right, let's see what they got to say. If you spread all the salt contained in our oceans across the land on Earth, it would cover every inch to a depth of 500 feet. Now that would be salt of the earth. Get it? Now that would be salt of the earth. All right, yeah, that would be salt of the earth. What can I tell you? It's a lot of salt. All right. Yeah, I agree. That's a lot of salt. Are there... where am I putting this? Where's the camera? Are there other planets in the universe similar to Earth? How similar? I wouldn't be surprised if they were exactly similar. I wouldn't be surprised if they were exactly similar and contained copies of all of us. I'm not voting for that, but it wouldn't shock me. Did I already count these 15 pieces? Is that how we got to 508, or was that... Yeah, I think I already counted these 15 pieces. Are there any other planets? But I have to answer definitively. Are there any other planets similar to Earth? So similar to Earth would be the same temperature, probably roughly the same year span, the same percentages of water and land, similar roughly, the same biodiversity, the same bio volume, biomass. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what the same means. That's actually a common problem with this deck, is that you don't even know what they're asking half the time. But I'll say yes. Wait. Is this universe? It's not solar system, right? Okay. Are there other planets in the universe similar to Earth? Well, the universe, going by standard, science and cosmology and whatnot, astronomy, it's basically a lot of planets. There's a lot of stars. There's a lot of planets around those stars. I don't have the numbers with me. I believe Carl Sagan described them as billions and billions of, I don't know, something. That guy was another twit. Anyway, I think that the problem is why these people become twits. I think it's anybody who relies on the mainstream media for their income is going to say a lot of foolishness over their lifetime. And I think that, like, you might say, oh, like Clint Eastwood doesn't say stupid stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure Clint Eastwood relies on the mainstream media. He makes independent films. Or, sometimes they're not independent, but he makes them. He, like, writes and directs them and acts in them. And I'm not sure he's really relying on anyone. I think he's, like, independently bankable. But someone who's relying on constantly looking for their next gig, especially, for example, the opposite of Carl Sagan. Well, Carl Sagan, I think, did have a series for a while. But when you have, like, a series, even if it's, like, something stupid, I recently watched that 70s show. But so even if it's, like, something like that, I mean, you got a job for 8 years. And you got a job that pays, I don't even know how much, probably like $1 million per year for 8 years. So even though you're in Hollywood, you don't necessarily care because you're not. But if you're like Carl Sagan and you're always like a guest on someone else's show and you're counting on your books to be sold and your appearances to make money and colleges to pay you for speaking, you absolutely have to toe the line. You have to think Greta Thunberg is a genius. You have to think that you need to wear masks when driving in the car alone. You have to think whatever the mainstream tells you to think, or that, gravy train is going to run dry. Anyway, what the hell was this question? Are there other planets in the universe? Yeah, hundreds of them. All right, let's see the answer. There are hundreds and hundreds of billions of planets in the universe with conditions that could potentially support life. Yeah, why did I say hundreds? I mean, they said hundreds and hundreds of billions, which makes my answer seem like really low. But really what I meant was a very high number. I don't know why I went with hundreds. It's obviously more than hundreds. All right, let's take a minute to admire our work here. All right, so this is the one we already built yesterday. This is the one we're building today. I think we need to start adding toothpicks here or something like that. Let's take a look at the instructions again. All right, so we just added this bunch. Now we need to add 2 toothpicks. And what is the number on that piece? 84. So here's 84. Is that 84? I think that's 84. I gotta look at the monitor. I can't read it with my eyes. Yeah, that's 84, right? Yeah, that's 84. All right, and then we gotta cut a toothpick in half. So that's 3 pieces. So we're up to 511. 511. Pretty good, I say. All right. I'm moving these because I gotta get to the toothpicks, which are in the box. And I had these sitting on top of the box. But there's like nowhere to put them. Anyway, put them over there. There's still, I'm not sure the exact number. I believe it's a shit ton of toothpicks in the box. I don't know how many more toothpicks this car is going to take. But there's billions and billions of them in this box, so we'll get to them soon enough. All right. So there you go. That's me cutting a toothpick in half. Obviously, I didn't, get it right in the center, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. So let's start building here. That one's already built. Let's start building here. All right, so stick both in. Right? Just stick them in there. That's the plan. You know what? I think if I recall correctly, the one on bottom gets cut first. So I'm going to put the longer one on top. I just remember that from when we were doing the other side. I think I remember that. I don't know. All right, now this piece goes on. We have to match. Oh, there we go. There's a notch right there. All right, we can do that. No problem. I believe it goes through these two holes. We'll find out if it lines up with the notch. Then that's right. If it doesn't, then we screwed up. You know, it wouldn't be the first time. You know, it wouldn't be the second time. It wouldn't be the billionth or billionth time. Actually, it probably would be. I don't think I've messed up a billion times yet. Though who knows? I don't know how long my soul is being carried through this journey. So maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Actually, we'll never know. So let's just assume I haven't. This piece is supposed to fit in here and it doesn't. Oh, now it does. There we go. It often happens that right after I complain, it suddenly works. But is that a good thing? I don't want it to encourage me to complain, but maybe I'm just asking for help. Maybe my guardian angel is multitasking and doesn't help until I ask for help, which is actually probably fine. I think I'm fine with that deal. Not always. I mean, there should be some level of monitoring. But for something like this, yeah, wait for me to ask for help. All right, so we got the toothpick and the pieces. That was instruction 7. Instruction 8 says add another toothpick. Yep, there we go. Another hole, add another toothpick. Do we already have one cut in half? We do. And it's probably longer than a half, but whatever. There you go. There's the toothpick. It doesn't fit in. Why doesn't it fit in? Unbelievable. I mean, we got a toothpick hole and we got a toothpick. It's supposed to fit in. I'm just going to cut another one. I don't know why this toothpick doesn't fit. Okay, there we go. It fit. All of a sudden it fit. Okay, that was 8. 9 says grab 222. So I'm going to advance this to 513 to account for 222 and the toothpick. 222 says 85 on it. The reason that's relevant is it may not be piece 222 because we're now working on the reverse angle, but it will say 85. So here's a piece that says 85. It's actually 260. It's 260. So I feel like for this reversey that we're doing tonight, I should scan, or not scan, it's already a PDF. I should extract these 2 pages and edit them for the numbers for the reverse and post it, because I made a blog for these models that I built for the Cabriolet timber truck. The instructions weren't online, so I scanned them and I posted them to the web. And now this one that we're doing today, the instructions don't show the numbers when we're doing the reverse. So I probably should post that to my blog as well. That could be useful to someone. All right, so it looks like they want the top 3. The top 3. But how do we do that? Which one's the top one? This one's the top one. So this one's the side. All right. They're all coming from different heights, so it's kind of tricky. Especially when you don't want to stab yourself, which I don't. All right. I think it's almost lined up there. Ooh. Stab myself right under the fingernail. Didn't pry it off. I was lucky. I don't know how. It just flexed it a little bit. If that had pulled off my fingernail, I would have been unhappy. All right, so that's in. The next instruction. By the way, I see the mirror reversal coming up. So, but what we're supposed to do next is 10. And 10 is cutting one of these toothpicks. It's the one right above the 85. There's two of them right above the 85, but I believe it's this one. No, it's not. It's this one. It's the one above the hole. There's an 85 and there's a hole. And it's the one that's like above the hole. That's the one that we're going to cut. So there's 3 toothpicks and we're going to cut this one. That's the one. All right. There we go. We cut it. It's in my hand. Okay. What's next? Oh, we're getting there. 223 and 224. And did they want us to add another toothpick? That doesn't make sense. Did we skip any instructions? Because we only cut one toothpick, right? But yet when we go to the next line, we're going to cut... Oh no, what is going on here? All right, we're going to add another toothpick. Did we cut the wrong one? Were we supposed to cut 2? I think we were supposed to cut this one too. Just based on looking at this, it looks to be cut. But the instructions, I don't think they said to. All right, I'm just going to put the pieces on. And if the toothpick's in the way, I'm going to cut it. I don't think it's going to be in the way. You know what? It is definitely only showing the high toothpick. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut this toothpick and I'm going to stick it in the bottom. Like recycling, right? Yeah, I'll stick it right here. And then, do I count that as a piece? I think I'm supposed to. I trimmed one and I immediately reused the piece, but I think following the logic, I should count that piece as 514. And now I need pieces 223 and 224, and those are pieces 515 and 516 on the counter. So 223 and 224, but they actually, yeah, they are 223. So they're right there. 223 and 224. We had another pairing over there. So they reuse the numbers here. All right. So let's get these on. So the 223 goes on first. I had trouble with this angle yesterday, and I feel like I'm again having trouble today. I don't know why I can't see this until I push it on. Can you see it? Am I doing it wrong? What do you think? I think I'm doing it right, but I'll find out in a minute. Yeah, that was right. All right, and then 224 goes on. And then we clip these toothpicks, I believe, but let's wait till the instructions say. Sure enough, they say to clip the toothpicks. All right, let's do it. All right. There we go. All right, now the big caution. Does it have the little... It does. We're good. We're golden. There we go. Mirror images. And it's got the little caution thing that they wanted. So we're good to go. Great job, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.